All right. You know who starts like this? Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey, and they're always laughing with him.
Legendary. We have a pretty unusual question for today. What are some unwritten rules in the CrossFit gym? This question can go pretty far, but let's see where it takes us.
Yeah, this is a rabbit hole that could go way longer than 15 minutes, but let's try at like 10 that I had thought of. But let's try not to talk too long per then. 10, that's 2 minutes. What is that? 2 minutes per thing. So I had the first one just as a short reminder: booking and cancelling class. In Smart Move, we book our classes to 72 hours in advance. But we also expect you, if you can make it, to cancel them in time so other people can take the free spot. Preferably more than an hour in advance, because we've all been complaining about the traffic in Cluj. So if a spot opens up half an hour before, is a very small chance that I'm still going to make it, depending on where I am in town. So if you know you're not going to make it, cancel in time. It's a sign of respect to your fellow trainees. Everybody likes training, and everybody likes to know it as fast as possible when a spot frees up. I hear a lot when we contact people to say they were a no-show, and a no-show is when you book the spot and you don't show up for training. So you're taking hostage of the spot, and nobody can technically book it because there is no free spot. And then people tell me, I forgot that I had a booking. You can connect your booking to your whatever calendar you have online to remind you, and then set a reminder. If you know you're one of those that easily forgets those things, set a reminder, connect it. I posted on our Facebook group how to do it. So please keep this in mind for everybody's sake. We don't want to be a school teacher and give you sanctions. So far, I never sanctioned anybody. I only told them about it. But don't make us into the bad guy. Just if everybody takes a bit of responsibility, everybody's going to be happy. Another one I have is pay attention to the coach when he's speaking in front of the class. It doesn't matter if you're doing CrossFit for 1 month or 5 years. When the coach asks you to come close to the board, there's a reason for it. So come close to the board. Don't go sit in the back of the room on a box and I already know this. Don't continue your private conversations or start walking around or disappear to the toilet. It's disrespectful. The coach is trying to give you some instructions for what's coming next. You will only know how distracting it is to have people on your right having a private conversation, and in your peripheral view, people from your class running left and right, when I will put you in front of the class to explain something in front of the group. I can tell you it's very distracting to keep your thoughts organized, explaining to the people that are standing in front of you when other people are talking and running around. You may know how to do the movements that he's describing, but not everybody does. So just be patient, be quiet, and so everybody can get the full benefits out of the coach's knowledge. Besides, you might learn something that you haven't heard before. We might surprise you, or I might use you as a demo because I know you're impatient and I will just put you in front of the class so to keep you busy. So before the Metcon, he will give you the stimulus of the workout. So it's important that you hear it. No matter how many workouts you have done, we might still surprise you of what we expect from this workout. So even you, the experienced ones, to put the right weight on the bar and to do it unbroken or in X amount of sets. So you get the right idea of what we expect from this workout. Each workout does have a point, and you should be listening to this explanation.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the typical one, I bet you also thought of this one. Leave your ego at the door. Ego is important in CrossFit. It can be a powerful tool to motivate you to push to new PRs, but it can also stand in your way to make further fitness improvements. It can be tricky to find the balance. CrossFit has a bit the tendency to expose your weaknesses. A well-rounded athlete, or at least a person that strives to be well on all bases, knows when to be humble when their weaknesses get exposed. So they can use that moment where CrossFit exposes their weaknesses to get better in the future. But a person that lets their ego dictate what their choices in the gym will probably be ignoring these weaknesses and start cherry picking their workouts, or maybe repeating bad form or bad movement in general, or lift too heavy weights based on their strength level. So they will or plateau in their fitness improvement, or they will just get injured. So it's important to be humble and to make smart decisions and to know your weaknesses, your strengths, and to make smart decisions and listen to your body from day to day. Don't try to impress anybody. Make smart choices. It's not because the guy next to you lifts 100 that you need to lift 100. It takes humbleness to accept that we're not as good at everything as we think we are. If you leave your ego at the door, it will open the door to progress in the future. The coach will help you with different drills to progress in the moves you're not so good at. Don't skip the steps. If it's 5 drills and drill 3 you're struggling with, it has no use to jump to drill 5 and expect magic. Just trust the process. Trust our experience in teaching moves and teaching progressions, because you're not the first one that we teach this movement to, and we know how long it takes to catch certain technical moves, to gain in strength. So trust the process, trust the coach, trust the coach's his advices. So those that do CrossFit, they do need to step in with the mindset of a beginner. Be open to try new stuff. Accept that you cannot be good at everything, but you're willing to learn. Be coachable and follow the coach's guidance, and that will help you big time in your progress. If you can't do 5 stick pull-ups, don't start flapping on the bar, learning between quotes, keeping pull-ups, because you're not ready, you're trying to skip steps. Scale smart. CrossFit can be done by anybody. Any workout can be adjusted. So if your coach suggests you a modification, trust them. We're trying to help you to preserve the stimulus and to stay safe. Just give it time. Aim for progress over time. Don't expect from day to day will be big changes. The goal is to get into the gym often. That's how progress is made. Not to try to do big PRs every day or big jumps in technical moves. And yesterday I couldn't stand on my hands and today I will stand on my hands. Give it time. If you force things, you will overload yourself and you'll open the door to injury. Small steps with the goal of coming back often, and over time, there is no other way than you will progress. It's impossible not to progress if you are consistent and you step into the gym often. But to be able to step into the gym often, you need to make smart decisions. You can't expect to do workouts with RX weight if you're in your first month. Give it time. 30 kilos, 40 kilos, 50 kilos, 60 kilos. There are many steps in between to how you will do your first workout with power cleans till when you will do it RX. There are many steps between. I think it's can compare it to like a crash diet. The smart approach is not to starve yourself for months and then with an attempt to drop in weight fast, and then afterwards to go back to old habits and gain the weight back and even more. I think it's the same with fitness. You cannot go from unfit to fit overnight. It's a process and it has the necessary steps. So again, the coach has the experience to guide you on that way. Use his experience, trust him, and give it time. My number 5. I think some people might have found themselves in this situation. Maybe on the receiving end or maybe on the giving end. Encourage the people around you, but don't turn into a coach. What makes CrossFit great is that you're working as a community. I sometimes describe it as going through the initiation of the army. We're suffering together. Everybody knows how it feels. We're supporting each other. We pull each other over the line when one is feeling mentally not so strong one day, cheering for your teammates. Together we progress and we get fitter. but leave the coaching to the coach. That's why he's there, because I know it's done with good intent. You've been into the gym for a year, maybe 5 years. You know all the moves, you know all the terms. You sometimes do workouts by yourself, and you think, I'm gonna tell this new guy how, let's say, how power cleans are done, and I'm gonna give him all these great cues and tips. But one thing you're forgetting is that coaching is just like any other job. It's something that you need to learn. It's something that has structure to it on how you teach in steps certain moves. What are the key points of every move? Something that we call coach's eye. It's something that needs time to develop, and coach's eye is recognizing movement patterns. I sometimes describe it to my coaches as, look at this person and then imagine in your head how the perfect power clean looks like, and now look at him and tell me what he's doing differently. So coaches are catching the big mistakes, fixing the big mistakes first, and fixing the small mistakes. If sometimes mistakes of somebody happen for a reason, so you need to know a little bit, you need to have a little bit of experience of seeing people move and making mistakes. Coaching is something that takes time to develop, smooth coaching. So how to cue somebody towards better movement also takes practice. What will happen usually, and it's not only for the member that coaches each other, even the beginner coach does this, is you will try to fix, I'm going to exaggerate, 20 things at the same time. You're going to, and the elbows and the hip, and now the extension and the jump and the feet and the contact and the this and the that, and you're going to just overwhelm that person that you're trying to help. Just as an exercise, if you were ever, even if you never corrected somebody, just this weekend, just take a friend or take
family
member and teach them a move. Teach them
the squat.
The most perfect air squat that you have in mind, in the way that however you want, but at the end, it needs to be the perfect looking air squat. It's not as easy as you think. And by practice, I know that from the outside, we've been doing this for over 10 years, coaching for over 15 years, it looks easy. We're doing it fast, we're doing it with intent, we know what to look for, we know the progression steps, we separate the big problems from the small problems, and we can fix people to move better, not perfect, because that takes time, to move better pretty fast. Just try it on a friend and see if in 5 minutes you can get into a good looking air squat. It's not as easy as it looks. So if you don't know what you are doing, you will just end up confusing the person. You'll give them too much information, and I understand it's with a good intent in mind, but it doesn't help the person long term. So in the end, it's no problem if you give them a small tip, but don't end up standing there for 5 minutes trying to fix his entire movement. In the end, you're also in your training, so focus on getting your training in. You can tell them a word or two, put your elbows a little bit higher, widen your stance, fine, but what I'm talking about is you're like doing practice reps with them, and you're staying there, and you're not even lifting your next set yourself anymore. Just focus on your own training, and the coach will focus on his job, which is get this guy to stay safe, to move well. And then from training to training, with the experience of seeing this guy move in this movement a lot, he will make decisions that he thinks will progress him over time, because we don't expect people to move on the same day, everything perfect, over time, to get it closer and closer and closer to what good movement looks like.
And most of the time, when a friend teaches another friend in the class, the coach comes there and says something completely different.
Oh yeah.
That's why, because the coach's eye is different than what you think. You might tell him that just do this when you show him what to do, but it's too many details from the start. What number was this one? The fifth
this
one?
We're in the middle now.
We're in the middle. Okay, so let's take a break then, and we'll continue into the next episode with the rest of the 5. So we keep it short, we keep it in the 15-minute AMRAP. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend. Maybe we're gonna have a bit more knowledge about some unwritten rules. And listen to the next episode, then where we're gonna continue the next 5. See you soon.